Most real estate videos on this topic will tell you this: if your house doesn't sell, just rent it out and keep it. That sounds smart, but it leaves out the part that people end up paying for later. Renting is not neutral. Things don't stay static. It only changes what you have to deal with later, and it changes what you'll have to sell later. There are a record number of homes right now not selling. Prices are higher than they've ever been. And yet, there are sellers who still feel like their home is underwater. Not because of the numbers, but because of what they thought it should be worth. And when the house doesn't sell for that number, that's when it really hits that this is not going to happen on their terms. And it forces them to confront the difference between what they thought they had and what someone is willing to pay for it. And renting feels like the next logical step, a form of relief and a way to hold on. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to lock anything in. You can hold on to it and let someone else, the tenant, make the payment, and you reap the appreciation. Las Vegas ranks in the top 10 nationwide for accidental landlords. These are sellers that had homes that were once for sale and then turned around and rented them when they didn't sell. When people ask me whether they should rent, they're usually thinking of it in today's terms, like what will it rent for? Am I going to make or lose money every month? And these are basic, valid questions. But I want to bring up, what does the future look like? Because renting isn't just going to generate income for you, it's going to change the asset. And it becomes a long-term commitment. That initial relief, I'm not selling that low, turns into years of emotional, financial, and logistical drag. Your life moves on, but the rental doesn't let go of you. And so my question then becomes, are you ready for that? When you turn your home into a rental, you are taking on a second job. You're going from homeowner to asset manager. And it sounds like something you can just hire out, but you cannot fully step out of this. Because when you've lived there, the maintenance was intentional. As a landlord, it's reactive. When you live there, you improve things. As a landlord, those upgrades get delayed. And when you live there, you wanted it beautiful. And as a landlord, those decisions get made based on cost. Not even the best tenant will love and care on that home like you did. And that's because they have no skin in the equity game. The key idea here is that it takes a lot of money and effort to hold your position in real estate. Repairs, improvements, legal changes. Remember what happened during COVID? Vacancies, market downturns, insurance and HOA spikes. That's why real estate investing is more beneficial when you go into it as an intentional business and as a long-term play, like a 10 or 20-year hold. So let's fast forward 3 to 5 years from today. The property has been rented. And let's say nothing dramatic happened, no horror stories to be told. But the carpet isn't quite right anymore. The cabinet finish is worn off the edges. The baseboards are dinged up and painted over with a different color. Little things are broken everywhere. The house doesn't feel like a shiny penny anymore. What a property manager today may not tell you is this: when you go to sell, buyers feel that instantly. They are not neutral. They don't say, oh, okay, this was a rental. They say, this looks beat up. This needs work. Let's keep looking. There are new homes out there that we don't have to do any work on. Buyers often believe that homes that were previously rentals need more work, which can mean longer days on market or bigger concessions later. So should you rent it? My response is, do you want to sell this property as a polished product or as a used asset later? Because you're not selling the same house later. You're selling a different version of this house. Renting feels like you're buying time, right? But you're actually changing what you have to sell later. You're turning a personal home into an investment asset, whether you meant to or not. And that carries now landlord responsibilities, legal responsibilities, potential tax shifts, and all of the market risks. Are you ready for that? Renting can absolutely be the right move, by the way. Not talking you out of it. want you to consider things. There are situations where it makes a lot of sense. Renting out a home works better when it's an intentional investment strategy, not a plan B. If you're trying to decide what to do with your property, I'm happy to walk through that with you, specific to your situation, your numbers, and where the market is actually headed. I'm Tanya Michaels, and this is where decisions get made.